Okay, everyone, here's why ACN is a scam. My story begins with ACN about a year or two ago. I had a friend contacting me through Facebook, inviting me to go to a business opportunity meeting. So I'm thinking, this is a meeting about, him and some friends are going to start a restaurant or a painting company, or because he said he wanted me to come and give him some input on on their business opportunity. So that meeting I couldn't make it, and so then about a week or two later, about a week actually, I get another message from him asking me to come to a business opportunity meeting, and he tells me it would mean a lot to him and blah 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 blah. He wants my input on this fantastic business opportunity, and I'm feeling under the weather. I don't show up. And finally, about another week or two or so, I call him on the phone, and I'm out, and so I let him know I received his messages about the business opportunity, and this is a friend I've had since first grade. I mean, we're really old friends, really good friends, and I straight up ask him, I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you into? What's going on? And this is where he started getting very evasive. And tells me he doesn't want to tell me, and it'd be better if I just came to the meeting, and someone else could explain it to me better. And it was, like I said, it was very evasive, very it wasn't good at all. Talk about ambushing 101. Very deceptive conversation. So somewhere in the conversation, he tells me that it has something to do that Donald Trump endorses the business. So I'm like, oh, okay. And in the conversation, he's doing this stuff you'd expect from an ACN rep. Oh, just trust me, blah blah. Okay, no, really, what are you into? What's going on? Oh, no, just trust me. Just come to this meeting, dude. And the more he wouldn't tell me, the more I got suspicious because, like I said, this is a friend I've had since first grade. But he said something about the Donald Trump, so that was my clue. So I went and I Googled Donald Trump endorses, and I came up with the ACN. And as I started reading the stories about ACN and reading about other people who had the similar experience that I had, about friends inviting them to the meeting, and not being deceptive and evasive like my friend was being, and not telling them what it was all about. Another reason why ACN is a scam is that the numbers don't add up. You don't need a college degree to do the simple math that 2% residual income from customers, that being your friends and family, because you're only allowed to sell your services in a warm market, and you're not allowed to use any outside advertising. I mean, that's the quote-unquote integrity of ACN business practices. You're not allowed to use any outside advertising in a competitive telecom industry to sell your services. You're only supposed to operate in a warm market. I mean, you'll see other YouTube videos about ACN, and they're talking about magic blogs, and people will come to you and blah, just follow this link and blah, 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 blah. Because they know there's other people, because that's probably the most difficult part of this whole scam, is you have to sell hundreds of services to hundreds of people to make a few lousy bucks. I mean, just think if you sold, you'd have to sell $20,000 in services to people at 1% to get $2,000 a month to scratch by a living. I mean, how many people? I mean, even if you made $10,000 at 2%, that would be $2,000. I mean, the numbers, just what you have to do, it's overwhelming. So where ACN, a lot of people can see where ACN makes a lot of their money is people hustling their family members to go to these ACN meetings, business opportunity meetings, where they get hustled to throw down the $4.99 $499 to join ACN, and none of that money goes to the reps. Well, I guess it does if you think about the pyramid, but a lot of those people, they're going to drop out. They're going to have difficulties selling ACN products in a warm market with no outside advertising and hustling their friends and family. It's a tough go. It's a really tough go, and that's why you have such a high dropout rate with ACN, and with any pyramid scheme, the bottom always drops out. And now the last thing I want to mention about the ACN scam. It should be noted that the entire state of Montana has banned ACN from their state. They've labeled it a pyramid scheme. Now, if you want to go live in Montana, you definitely don't want to join ACN. People will say ACN's not for everyone. Well, it's not for everybody in Montana. Supposedly, the story goes there's about 300 people that spent about $250,000 and they got $900 back. And so ACN has been banned in the entire state of Montana. Now, I told this to my friend. Of course, he's like a cult member now. ACN really is a money-hungry cult, and a lot of brainwashing going on. It's scary stuff, really scary stuff. And, he's like, well, that's too bad for the people of Montana. That's their mistake. They just don't know any better. I mean, his whole take is, when I've confronted him on the phone about being deceptive and evasive, his whole take is, well, you're doing something for people, and even if you're being deceptive and evasive, you're helping them and you're doing them a favor. So, the end justifies the means, and it's okay not to tell people the truth. It's okay to hustle people to come to the business opportunities or sell them the shitty ACN products. This is the mentality, and what it goes back to is, and people will talk about this on the internet, is ACN being a fucked up company. Well, all these people are in the same boat. They've all thrown down the $499 startup fee. They're all been fed all these lies and scams. And, when they say rats jump sinking ships, they're the rats that are trying to stay on the ship before it sinks. They believe the lies that, they're going to come out on the other side if they just stick with it. And I just think ACN's a really horrible thing. My good friend, he wrote me a Christmas letter this year, and I knew even before I opened the letter what it was going to be about. He told some big sob story, which doesn't correlate with the actual information that he's told me on the phone about his income and financial situation. About everything's going bad, and he needs people to buy his ACN, and he's selling out his dignity for a few lousy bucks, and it's really sad, and I've lost a lot of respect for this person for being this way, and he's losing a lot of face, and you'll find on the message boards with ACN, people will tell you, if you want to disconnect yourself from friends and family members, go for this ACN scam. It's really a horrible thing. To me, ACN is like a pimp at a Greyhound bus station, and I want absolutely nothing to do with ACN in no shape, way, or form. I hope this YouTube video has been helpful, and please, unless you want to be a scammer, you should stay away from this ACN scam. The end.